Hello everybody and welcome to Game 2 of the Winners Bracket Round 3 matchup between Mentalist and Nick versus the Viper and MBL. The score currently is 1-0 and I forgot to update my scoreboard. So, anyway, we have Mentalist on the bottom left corner. He's going to be playing as the Japanese. His ally this game will be Nick, playing as the Vikings. So we have Japanese and Vikings for Mentalist and Nick. These are swapped civs from Game 1. On the bottom right side, we have the Viper playing as Saracens. His ally this game will be MBL playing as the Chinese. So if you thought the winners of last round, which was the Viper and MBL, were due to civ matchups, we're going to have swap civs, and we'll be able to test that theory. I've already gone over the civ matchups for Game 1, so we can skip that little introduction for now. And if you haven't seen Game 1, you can check it out on the Voobly official YouTube channel. So let's take a look at their maps. The Mentalist. I always do this whenever there's the Viper in the games. Everybody is the... Mentalist has a lot of deer in this right side. That's actually 3 deer patches. That's incredible. I would love to see him. Oh, and he's lost a villager. What a bad start for Mentalist early on. So that's going to put him a little bit behind. Hopefully he does mill those deer, especially with the Japanese having cheaper mills. Anyway, Mentalist has a gold on the right side. It's going to be hard to get saturation on it, but it is fairly secure and safe. Has a back lumber line. Able to take stone if you would like. Let's get chat off. Alright, I'll change the score. Quarry gold for him. And it's a pretty decent map from Mentalist. His berries are a little bit forward, a little bit vulnerable. The important thing about his map is his golds are mainly safe and his wood is mainly safe. So Mentalist should have an okay map. We'll see if he takes those deer and how he compensates for being 1 villager behind. It is a really big deal being 1 villager behind this early on. That's that could be potentially 100, 200, 300 resources as this game goes on. And looks like an attempted boar lure from Nick. I did miss this. Oh, Nick can actually get this boar over here. Is he going to go for it? He is! 45 health, 32 health left now, and he's going to go for the boar. So this is going to be MBL's boar. He's not going to get it. Oh my gosh, the boar goes back. How unlucky. He's going to go for it again. That's going to take off even more HP off of the Scout. Scout is now down to 11 health. And take potentially maybe 2-3 more hits. And Scout from MBL is nowhere in sight. So Nick is going to take that back. Let's check this. Let's see. MBL actually has 2 boar, so that means MBL was able to steal 1 of Nick's boar. So if Nick does get this boar lure, which it looks like he will, it'll just even things up. So it's nothing really that special. So that's MBL's map. He is playing as Japanese, so we will go for the Drush, it looks like. The Viper is playing as the Saracens. Going to go with the Drush as well. He's even walled up on the left side. He feels fairly safe here. Stones are a little exposed, not a big deal. Wood line looks fairly safe unless archers come around here. Gold is in a very safe position. So the Viper has a fairly decent map. Quite a bit of a contrast from Game 1 where we had all the exposed golds. And he's going to come out with a brush. With a Drush, not a brush. Who is John? John is MBL. See? MBL has fairly exposed golds, but he's doing his best to wall it. What the heck kind of walls are these? Look at this. Hasn't found his 2 sheep. This is a ton of investment from MBL. And he's not even that safe. He's going to have to place his military buildings here. So he's doing his best. Has his wood in a safe position at the very least. What? Okay, these are even crazier walls. So much walling in this game. So much investment. Forward lumberline, forward gold for Nick. He's going to help protect those with some of these palisades. It looks like every single player in this game, except for MBL, is going to drush. And here's the drushes from both players. The Viper's going to get My bad. Mentalist is going to get the first hit. He has a villager in this area as well. He's going to clearly win this scout fight. And that is actually a very big deal because Mentalist is taking these deer. If the Viper did win the scout fight, would be able to kill these deer off. But that is not going to happen. Mentalist is following this up with a bunch of farms. Could potentially be thinking about a fast castle. In fact, it looks like he is. And no player up to the feudal age quite yet. These walls aren't completed. Of course they're not complete. How could you expect to wall this much up when your opponent is drushing? I believe they can choose who plays what civ, although I'm not completely sure. All the players going up to the feudal age, Viper will be the first up. And he's got plenty of farms, so it looks like a fast castle build from all of these players, I feel. Which, again, despite all of the forward golds and whatnot. Now, the player in the biggest problem right now is probably MBL. He's completely open on the front, but what are these militias doing? They're really not doing that much. Nick is not going to want to invest into the men-at-arms upgrade, I feel. Let's go to Nick's point of view. Okay, so this is going to be fairly close. It's hard for me to tell if these are fast castle builds. The good thing is he's going to get an extra 4 HP on these militia, whether or not he upgrades to the men-at-arms, because he is Vikings. And 4 HP doesn't sound like a lot, but that's essentially what? That's essentially 6 extra villager hits that these militia can take. MBL has edited his strategy. He's calling an audible. He's building some militia now to help defend his gold, since he couldn't get these walls up. Let's see the fight. This villager could go down. Here comes the scout. It's on 6 HP left. It's going to take 2 hits. Here comes the scout, only on 1 HP. Scout's going to go down. So that was a close call. And MBL is safe for now. Let's check MBL. He's very low on resources. He had to put in the extra 120 food to build those 2 militias. And he's going to go with the market. So MBL's build is pretty screwed. It's pretty screwed up. While the other players are clicking into the Castle Age now. There's Nick's... Is Nick going to Castle Age? No, Nick is going to stay in Feudal Age for a while. He's going to have a fairly strong economy with Vikings, so I don't think he'll be too long before he's in the next age. He smells blood. He's got his 2 militia still remaining. He's got archers coming out faster than MBL. He's going to go with the tower. And Mentalist is here as well with his Drush, which he won the Drush battle between the Viper. Now this tower doesn't cover all of the gold. With fletching, I don't even think it'll be able to cover all of the gold. And Nick is going to move over to this right gold. On the bottom side, not much is happening. We have a little bit of weird walls from Mentalist. I believe there are holes in between these. As I said before, the gold is going to be hard to saturate, so not the most efficient villagers in the world. The Viper Mentalist up to the next age. The 2 players on the bottom. 2 players on the top will stay in Feudal Age. And that's going to be a waste of resources with the stone wall and the mining camp, I suppose. But the good thing for MBL is he still has his gold secured. That's what really matters. Villagers could take a little bit of time before they get through 2 full HP houses. And MBL's clicked up to the next age now. The Viper is double palisaded up. It's not something you usually see from him. Except for a single layer in the back. What is the Viper doing? He's even gone up with a market stable. Nope, and a blacksmith here too. So it looks like he's going to go into knights. It is fairly unusual to see the Viper go up with a market though. Maybe a little bit of economy mismanagement, I'm not quite sure. Oh no, the villagers! This is so frustrating for players. To spend all that time to batter down this house. And still the stone walls go up behind it. There's only 70 HP here though, that's nothing. Nick has not clicked up to the next stage. He's the only player in Feudal Age. He'll be up in just a second. We have Mentalist going up to a second town center. Bit of a weird position. He'll be able to secure his wood a little bit. Should be a tile close to the wood, I feel. No biggie. And getting readied pretty heavily by the Viper. Gonna kill a villager and an archer. There's still a hole here. Mentalist, king of the holes. Wood is pretty inefficient. Not the best economy for Mentalist. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he couldn't produce from all 3 town centers. Where's the army for Mentalist, though? He's currently on 3 military. Tower's in the perfect position for MBL. He's going to go with the Siege Workshop to help defend. Hard to say who's winning on the top side. MBL is in the Castle Age. He has a Siege Workshop to defend. Should be up with the Town Center fairly shortly. Nick is going up now. I feel like he has a slight advantage here. And going to go with 2 stables. Going to do the Vikings Knight switch. Yeah, definitely Nick has the advantage on the top, I feel. So this low army approach from Mentalist should pay off, actually. Because the Viper, he's double palisaded up. And he's going up to 3 town centers himself. Now, I'm a little bit curious here. Did Mentalist actually see the market? No, he hasn't. Oh my gosh! Here comes a raiding from the Viper. He's gonna kill a few villagers here. Or not. Okay, gonna kill this villager at least. Or not. Okay, that was the most anticlimactic raid ever. Nick is gonna bring back his army. Let's check the upgrades on these knights. +1 armor and bloodlines done. Vikings have some good spearmen as well. And Mentalist should be safe from night raids as well. Looks like he's just starting to be able to produce off of 3 town centers. Because they are quite a bit idle. Mentalist is at 50 villagers, the Viper's at 53 villagers. The Viper's slightly ahead of him. Or not, he's got 4 town centers actually. So the Viper will have a huge economy. And he's mining quite a bit of stone, so thinking about Mamelukes, this is quite a bit of a strategy difference from last game. Last game we saw the Saracens player go into crossbow and then switch into skirmishers, which ended up being, I believe, Nick's downfall. Going against the Japanese samurai. Not going to be the case here. John looks to be going for a siege monk defense, if not a rush. Chinese with some pretty good monks. Just missing block printing, which ironically they invented. And while we have the pause in this game, let's take a look at where players are right now. We have MBL on 50 villagers. Nick at 50... I can't tell. We have Mentalist on 54 villagers and the Viper on 57 villagers, but Viper will definitely pull ahead here with 3 town centers. While Mentalist will hopefully collect a few relics. There we go. 36 villagers for Nick. Wow, that's so low. MBL's on 51 and Nick is on 37. Take back what I said. MBL is clearly way ahead of Nick. He's got a 2nd town center in the back. I must have missed that. And this is a fairly strong army as well. We'll counter Nick's knight transition. So Nick looks to be in a lot of trouble. And meanwhile, the Viper is going to outboom Mentalist. Mentalist is going to try to do his damage, though. He's got a Siege Workshop up. With a few monks as well. So we're going to see monks and Siege from both players here. Oh my gosh! Nick actually has scouts in those stables. What a good idea. Going to kill off all of the monks. And going to go for the mangonels next. Yes. That was such a clever army composition. There actually wasn't any knights in that stable. And I don't want to say that's going to give Nick the lead on the top side, but it's going to help to bring him back a little bit. At least Nick has an army advantage here. I think the Viper saw Nick's stable, so Mamelukes would be a good idea, potentially. Here's the first castle. Will the castle get up in time? Okay, Mentalist must see the castle at this point. He's got enough line of sight. Here comes the crossbows. Castle is 50% up. Here comes the Mangano. Gonna kill a single villager. 2 villagers. 3 villagers. Here comes the Mangano. Mangano's gonna go back, and we're gonna be left with 4 villagers down. And now Mentalist is gonna lose a few crossbows, so not that big of a deal. This town center is exposed, but Mentalist is not going to get much more than a single town center with this push, which is what he needed to get more than that. Nick is going to go up to his 3rd town center, trying to boom his economy a bit. At the very least, the Vikings do have a very strong economy. You know, even with less villagers. And MPL is 20 villagers ahead of Nick, and 10 military behind. Now upgrade to Lycav. Lycav have much higher resistance to monks. Like this wall. Okay, he's gonna sacrifice himself. On the bottom side, Mentalist is going to choose a different angle to attack from. And this is a fairly vulnerable portion of the Viper's economy. He's only got a single castle in the north side, but nothing to defend the soft underbelly here. Town center is down. The Viper might be in a bit of trouble. There's 2 onagers Mangonels here. Mentalist is up to the Imperial Age. So once again, the Viper might have a little bit of trouble here. I thought he would be in a much better position than he actually is. Let's see the Mangonel Micro. Gonna get a single Mangonel. See if he can get a second. So important the Viper gets this Mangonel trade. So Mentalist is going up to the next stage. 88 vills, that's a fairly decent economy to go to the Imperial Age. It's not like it's a fast-imp. And there is a little bit of army here for Mentalist as well. So Mentalist should be fairly strong. Probably the big difference here is that Mentalist, is that the Viper went up to 4 town centers, going to cost more food and invested much heavier to stone, so that's possibly why he couldn't click up to the next stage, whereas Mentalist could. Viper is going to build a little bit of a weird castle on this right side. I don't know what the purpose of that is. It'd be nice to see a castle here, I think. At the very least, this castle does secure the middle of the map, and will secure another stone for the Viper, which looks to be important for his strategy. Alright, here comes the light cavalry. Here comes the crossbows. Mangonel's gonna get hung up a little bit of a Mangonel trade. Crossbows should move in. I don't know if they have ballistics yet. This is a good castle for Nick, especially if he's able to click up pretty soon. Good thing for Nick is the position of MBL's gold. They're all in the forward position. Imagine a trebuchet just right in this area. Will prevent MBL from taking any of these golds. And there's a castle for MBL. It's going to be so important whichever player goes up the next stage quicker. Here's the Imperial Age Arbalest being done for Mentalist. And a castle right on top of the hill. This is a fairly strong position that Mentalist is at right now. Here's the Imperial Age for the Viper. What town center is the Viper going up on? Oh my god, that is the MTC! That's the MTC! 2 Mangonels are on top of it. I hope the Arbalest move in. Imperial Age is now 80% researched. Now it looks like the Viper will be able to go up. This is a lot of resources that he has to spend though, trying to get this town center up. And the Viper's going into camels. He's not even going into knights or skirmishers or arbalests. These Japanese arbalests should be able to shred right through camels. And the heavy camel upgrade is such a long upgrade as well. All the advantages for Nick and Mentalist, I feel. Here's Zealotry, though. Zealotry chain barding armor. How the Viper afforded Zealotry, I have no idea. It's such an expensive upgrade. And now the Viper's going to let this town center die. We can see a big Mangonel shot, though. Let's see the big shot. Okay, a little bit of a shot. And Mangonel goes down. Here comes the camels. These are still Castle Age camels at this point. And Mentalist has the perfect army to counter the Viper at this point. Gonna come forward with a Tread. There's even a few monks here. On the top side, Nick has a huge military advantage. However, MBL is in the period. He will be able to afford either Bracer or Halberdier or Trebuchets. And the Viper's going to lose a few more villagers. He's down to 110 villagers now. Mentalist 106 villagers, fairly even. But the big thing is this army here. On top of the hill, too. Castle will go down for the Viper. Won't be able to transition into elite Mamelukes. That's really where the strength of the Saracens are. It's not going to be in these heavy camels. And this is going to be the nail in the coffin for Mentalist. Going to add some Japanese pikemen to help counter out these camels. You have two units that counter camels here, Arbalest and pikemen. Nick is now up to the next age. Let's see if he will be able to hold from the Imperial Age of MBL. I feel like Mentalist is in a much stronger position than MBL is, though. And let's see those pikemen get added into this army composition. Alright, we have +4 armor down. +4 armor done. 150 HP. We're missing bloodlines? Are we missing bloodlines? No, heavy camel. That's what we're missing. Oh my gosh, where is heavy camel? Okay, it's in the back stable. I thought it got canceled. I don't see it here. It might have gotten canceled earlier because it's not showing up the spec dashboard, and that's such a bad technology to get canceled. It's such a long one. What, does chemistry take less time? What idiot designer decided to make heavy camel one of the longest researching technologies in the game? Alright, Nick's having a little bit of trouble against MBL. His castle will go down. A lot of the upgrades have been done on Chakunu, just not the unique upgrades. And Nick should be getting Arbalest fairly shortly. Elite Skirmisher might be a very good option for him. There we go, Elite Skirmisher. Look at this Master Mentalist, though, and Japanese Halbs added here, too. A few monks. The monks are going to get caught out, but it's not going to be a free trade. Here's the Arbalest here. Here comes the Japanese Halbs. These camels sure could take a beating. The problem is camels only have 7 attack. They're not very good against Halbs, and they're not very good against Arbalest because of that reason. And that's not going to be a good fight for the Viper. It might be a decent trade, but it's not the trade he needs. I hope Mentalist has ballistics. Okay, now we have Arbalest for Nick. It should be able to hold for a little bit until MBL adds some rams. And this is an absolute disaster for the Viper. Look at this. This used to be the Viper's base right here. Look at what used to be the Viper's base. Look at it. There's nothing left. This is the Viper's base now. Look at this village. This is a horrible village. At the very least, Nick still has his economy working. He's losing a bit of ground. He will have the opportunity to push back. What is the Vipers? These Vipers on 90 villagers. Most of his villagers did survive, at the very least. He's in so much trouble, though. There's really not that much more to clean up from the Viper. He's just got these villages on the right side. Viper's going to go up to 3 town centers. What he needs is farms. I mean, look at how much wood he has lost on all of these farms. Here we go. Mentalist's going to finish off the Viper. Here comes the castle for the Viper. The Viper's also taking down this castle. MBL's paying a ton of resources to the Viper so he can keep pumping out these Now Scout Cavalry. Okay. MBL's being distracted, trying to help defend his ally on the bottom side. That's going to give Nick a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of time to recover. Mentalist is upgrading to Onager now to help counter out the Chukunu, which have all their upgrades on them. This castle will buy the Viper a little bit of time. Starting to mass up his camels and light cam a bit, but we're seeing Mentalist add more and more hounds. Lead Skirmish is being fairly decent against the Chukunu. What I'm missing from Nick is we're missing maybe some onagers of his own. Looks like this little village from the Viper is gonna get shut down. Oh, a little bit of mismicro from a lot of mismicro from Mentalist. He's gonna lose all those halves. And this is gonna be an incredible comeback if we see it. Mentalist is a little bit weak here. I feel like Nick is a little bit weak. I feel like Mentalist should start to focus a little bit more on MBL. So we do have Onager now done, and these skirmish is not gonna hold up very long. Looks like players thinking about trade at this point. Oh boy, here comes the Onager. The Onager could get within range of the Trebuchet. There we go, it's within range of the Trebuchet. It's gonna go down. Trebuchet is gonna focus on the Onager. And Onager is down. One Onager left. Here comes the Light Cavalry. There goes the Light Cavalry. Onager is still alive. Shoot! And a 2-for-1. Nice trade. It looks like it's not going to be enough Hustler for the Viper. Onager for Nick. That's a big upgrade. That's what we need to see. One lonely Light Cav. Going to be a hero here. Going to take out two Onagers. And that's going to be the end of the Viper's castle. No stone left. Look at this army for Mentalist. There's nothing here to stop this. Maybe a few good Onager shots. But at the same time, MBL is pushing into Nick's base. Nick's going to build this castle just to buy him a bit of time. And that's all they need at this point. I feel like we're missing just a little bit of cavalry in this composition to help take down these Onagers. Castle will stay up for Mentalist. And this castle's going down fairly fast. Good thing for Nick, it is on the hill. And there isn't any raiding being done on Nick either. So Nick will hold for the time being. He's in a very vulnerable position, though. He's only got 13 military, compared to MBL's 57 military. Much stronger military as well. Nice Onager shot. Got 3 health left. It's going to get the Onager shot. Going to get the trade. This is the Viper's last stand. If they lose it here, it's going to be GG. Man, if only Mentalist had a few more Onagers in this mix. Maybe even a few more Halbs, too. This could be potentially very vulnerable to a cavalry shock. We need to see more Halbs from Mentalist. And MBL and the Vipers still have a chance in this game if they can take a good fight here. And MBL can continue to push onto Nick. We could see a comeback. Let's see how this fight goes. Viper's got nowhere left to run. Here's the Viper's base. Okay, good Onager shot. Well. Not that good. Viper's gonna lose a lot of Hustler here. Gonna move back. We need to see more Hounds. Here we go, 4 military buildings. And Nick is still holding. Going to build up his military numbers. MBL is going to transition to light cav, though. That'll wreck these skirmishers. So hurry up, Nick. I never get the names right. Hurry up, Mentalist. We have to see you finish this game. More Haubs, more Haubs. Here comes the trebuchets. This is going to be it. Either we're going to see the comeback, or we're going to see the Viper get wiped from the face of the map. Mentalist, get plate armor. There we go, plate armor. I should look at the upgrades list every now and then. Okay, here comes those light cav. Only +1 to armor, not too deadly yet. Siege ram being done for MBL. Oh my gosh, I think we're gonna see the comeback. Here we go. Not enough Haubs in the mix. Too much army from MBL and the Viper. Here comes the cap rams. They're going to move under the castle. There's only a single trebuchet here for the Viper. Siege rams now done. Plenty of arbalest left, but here comes the lead skirmishers. First castle will go down for Mentalist. Will the other two castles hold? And Elite Samurai being done for Mentalist. Okay. So Trebuchet is still alive. These three castles could potentially go down right as Mentalist is transitioning to Elite Samurai. So glad there's no siege here for a siege shot. Oh, here comes a sneaky onager. Fire! Shoot! Shoot! Shoot the Chuckanoo! Shoot! Shoot! One more! Here it comes! Here it comes! Oh, baby! Oh, yes! Here comes the Elite Samurai! That was a huge shot! There's only so many Chuckanoo left. Arbalests are still alive. On the top side, Nick is pushing back. What are we watching? What are we watching? This is an awesome game. I just have to say that. This is an awesome game. And the Samurai transition is going to come in at just the right time. The castle will go down, though. Okay, here's the Haubs. Oh, the Haubs is going to be in time. 400, 200 health. Oh my gosh, 145 health. That is all the Japanese attack speed bonus right there. No other Civ would have prevented that castle from going down. 145 health left. Mentalist is going to push back on the right side. Nick's going to push on the top side. Nick and Mentalist, they will take this game. We will even it up to 1-1. Wow, what a game that was. What a push. We almost saw the comeback. That was almost real. What a great onager shot. Wow, what a great game. Such a good game. Wow. Let's take a look at the achievements. Best KD ratio for Mentalist, 290 to 230. MBL, good KD ratio. Viper with not a good KD ratio. Nick just being about even. Viper's taken the most abuse this game. 126 buildings lost. I assume some of those were farms. But 126 buildings lost. I've never seen that before. Good job from the Viper in rebuilding in the back, keeping his population high though. Received a lot of tribute from MBL. I think the pressure from Nick really didn't pay off in the early game. 1800 relic gold for Mentalist helped to sustain him. Here's your timeline. Didn't have enough camels, I guess. What a good game.